Twelve-year-old Blake Boyer is telling this jury, A, not only did the children talk about playing with the gun or that the gun was in the house before they even got there, they were on the bus, so they were intrigued by the gun. And then the young Louis Mevic pulled it out from under the couch. Now the jury hears that not only did he pull it out, but he started actually pointing it at other children.
Now, this gun, you said you saw him take the bullets out. Do you know what the difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic?
Yes.
Was this a revolver?
Yes.
Okay. So the cylinder opened up and the bullets came out, is that
yes.
right? Okay, after Louis took the gun out and unloaded, what did he do with the gun?
He was just pointing it at Sean, just dry firing.
Dry firing?
Yeah.
That means pulling the trigger and making a noise?
Yeah.
Okay. Was Sean scared, or was anybody scared at that point?
Sean was.
All right. And what was he doing?
He was hiding.
All right. Did you all know it was empty, though?
Yeah.
Were you scared at that point yourself?
No.
How long did Louis have the gun? Well, did anybody else handle the gun at that time that you saw?
Yes.
Who else did?
Sean and Martin.
Okay, Martin's the 11-year-old brother, the younger brother. Okay. And what were they doing with it?
They're just pointing it at people.
Pulling the trigger?
No.
Okay, well, you guys just get goofing around, horsing around with it, basically?
Yeah.
All right. You didn't touch it yourself?
No.
Did you see the gun get put away?
Yes.
And tell us about that.
He reloaded it and put it back under the couch.
Same location that you got it from?
Yes.
And that was Louis that did that?
Yes.
And how long do you think you had the gun out at that time?
15, 20 minutes.
Okay. What did you guys do after you put the gun away?
We went in Lewis's room and started playing video games.
Okay. And with these video games, did you all play at the same time, or just one at a time, or how?
One at a time.
Okay. Remember what you were playing?
No.
Okay. And did you continue to watch TV as well?
Yes.
Did you ever leave the apartment?
No.
Were you eating or drinking anything? Any sodas or snacks?
Yes.
And how long do you think you were at the... what time do you think it was approximately when you got to the apartment?
Say about 10.
Okay. Now, was there a time that the gun came out again that you were aware of?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Martin took it out.
How do you know Martin took it out?
Because we were just playing around. David was playing around with them, and he's like, David, I was going to go get the gun. And so he locked Martin out of the room.
David locked Martin out of the room?
Yes.
What room is David in?
The Lewis's room.
That's the bedroom?
Yeah.
Is that the room that had bunk beds in it?
Yes.
Same room you were playing video games in?
Yes.
Okay. And the gun was in another room, right?
Yes.
Did you actually see Martin get the gun?
No.
And David locked them out of the bedroom?
Yes.
So you in the bedroom at that time?
Yes.
Do you remember if anybody else was in the bedroom then?
Sean and Lewis were both in the bedroom.
Okay. Now, did you see the gun after that?
Yeah.
Where did you see the gun after that?
David unlocked the door and Martin came in with the gun.
Okay, and what did Martin do with the gun?
He gave it to Lewis.
All right. Do you know whether or not, or did you see that gun get unloaded that time?
No.
All right. Was anybody pulling the trigger at that time or doing anything like that?
No.
Did you think it was unloaded at that point?
Yes.
So, at that point, Lewis has the gun again. You're in the bedroom. What do you do?
I walked out of the bedroom.
And what did you do?
Get something to drink.
All right. And did you go back in the bedroom?
No.
What were you doing then?
I was watching TV.
Was that in the living room?
Yes.
Okay, the same room the couch was in?
Yes.
Who else was watching TV with you?
Martin and David.
Okay, and where was Lewis and Sean?
In the bedroom.
And what were they doing as far as you know?
Sean was playing a game, and I think Lewis was playing with the gun.
Okay. Did you hear them talking in the room?
No.
If they had been talking, would you have heard it?
No.
You're watching TV?
Yes.
Do you hear something from that room, though?
Yes.
What do you hear?
I heard 2 dry fires.
Okay. And then what?
Then a big boom.
Did you know what that was at that point?
Yes.
What did you think?
It was the gun going off.
What did you do at that point?
I ran into the bedroom and I saw Sean
And where was Sean?
lying on the bed.
And was he moving at all?
No.
Did you see blood?
Yes.
Okay. How did that make you feel at that point?
Very scared.
What did you do?
I got my shoes and I left.
Okay, did you leave with anybody else?
Me and David both left.
All right. Did you hear Lewis say anything after you heard the gunfire? What was Lewis
He
saying?
said, "Oh my God, I killed him."
Okay. Did he say anything about calling 911 or anything like that?
Yes, he ran outside when me and David went outside and he called 911.
When you say outside, you mean outside the room?
No, outside.
What was he calling on?
His phone.
Is that one you can call from outside?
Yeah.
So when you left, he was on the phone to 911, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, where did you and David go?
We went to the Somerset apartments.
Are those nearby?
Yes.
And what did you do when you got there?
We're seeing if we heard any sirens or seen any police cars.
Now, at that point, did you think that maybe it was a joke and it didn't really happen?
Yeah.
Okay, or you were hoping that was the case, is that right?
Yes.
Well, you weren't sure.
I was hoping that was the case.
Okay, so what did you do after did you stay at the Somerset apartments, or did you hear sirens? Or
I heard we saw police cars go over there. So we went back over there and we saw the police cars there.
Okay. Now, did you wind up talking to the police that day?
Yes.
Okay, did you tell them what you saw happen?
No.
What did you, in the beginning, did you tell them something differently?
Yes.
What tell
I told them I left before the gun went off.
Okay, and why'd you tell them that?
Because I was scared.
All right, did they then ask you about that, if you were telling the truth or not?
Yes.
And did you tell them the truth? Did you change and tell them the truth at that
Yes.
point? Okay.
So there's an irony here. It's odd to keep a gun under the couch, but he slept on the couch. So it's the equivalent of him having the gun back in his bedroom, him sleeping on the bed. And it does seem to me that if he had been sleeping in the bedroom himself, he might have put it in a place that would be a little bit harder for children to find.
I think so, but I think, you know, one of the things that is coming across here is that this guy in fairly modest circumstances, a two-room apartment, you know, the living room was in effect his bedroom, as you pointed out, and he had limits, I suppose, as to where he could put this gun and yet leave it readily accessible to himself. Should
Can you make any hay with that as a defense lawyer?
I think, you know, by itself it's not much. But again, it's one of those little factoids that you can at least argue to this jury, this is not a reckless guy. This is not a guy who exhibits wanton disregard. He had some theory as to why that gun was under the couch, because it was his bed and he could get at it quickly. Yeah. Is it what you or I would do? Maybe not. But is it criminal recklessness?
I mean,
No.
this defense lawyer has so little ammunition. You know, there was no cross of this child. Doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me one bit. I think that's the prudent course of action. What are you going to ask this young boy? Just prolong his, you know, his own personal trauma over this experience by undergoing even a gentle cross-examination? Unnecessary.
I mean, what can you prove? The kid fudged the truth a little bit, I think, when he said he never planned to play hooky.
Right.
He just wound up with these other kids who were playing.
Exactly, yeah. Mom and Pop were listening to his testimony, I suppose.
To cross-examine the kid, it just shows you how hard up the defense is for a defense in this case. Well, it's time for us to take a break. Coming up next, he admits that he pulled the trigger. Now 14-year-old Louis Mevic Jr. is taking the stand against his own father. We'll have that testimony after these messages.